What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mike Ricks, man. Hey, man, we got a little show going on, a little live popping tonight, man. A little live, man. Just rock with me for a little minute, man, while I get some stuff situated. I know it's been a while. Just got to get some stuff off my chest. Got to say it with your chest. I say you got to say it with your chest. Yeah, man. My boy DJ gonna be calling in, y'all. We're gonna wrap this thing, talk a little bit about Panther Nation, what's going on in the off-season, pre-draft, all that stuff, man. So get ready. Check out some tunes until I get this thing situated. What's good, 3-point Goblin? I know it's been a while, man, but we're gonna try to get something popping, man. So check out a little music, man. Let me know if y'all hear this, man. Let me know if y'all can hear the music. Do y'all hear the music? Let me know. What's good, everybody? Hey, y'all can hear the music? All right. All right, give me a minute, man. More if they was aware the change was under the rugs. Y'all hear now? All right. Get the thumbnail set, get everything situated. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot going on, Panther Nation. We got a lot going on. Can't rely on politics. All that the game power. They your life for 8 hours. Poison get to water. Your heart shake, you take showers. Nobody put in place to keep you straight. So now I got my boy DJ coming in on this thing too. I'm gonna get the audio right. It's for the evolution. It's for this resolution. Now have you ever been broke? For the evolution. Let's see. Got a big show, man. Got a big show. I'm probably gonna be on here quite some time tonight, man. So if you got time, rock with me. If you got time, rock with me. I was raised by a house full of women. I had to be so I barely put my pants on. I don't trust these niggas because they be fucking the bands. Learn how to fight before you shoot. That's how they raised us. Shorties out the city, how they raised us. But the country didn't save us. All right. Talking to your face now. Funny how the ones I barely know really stay now. I can't put my trust in nobody, that's what I learned. They gon' be some up out that water when bridges burn. Green shit in face. I just wanna speak my mind, I wanna say shit. Everybody wanna play grand. Yeah. All right. You say the audio not good, y'all? Y'all can't hear me? We gonna talk about that Super Bowl too, man. Ain't nobody trying to talk about no Bucks. Lead 'em on. All right, I'm almost done, y'all. I'm almost done. Also giving DJ a little time to call in, man. Let's go. Quay. All right, let's go. Yo, what's good? All right, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me good? Check. Not too clear musical. Okay. All right, that better. Can y'all hear me good though? Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Testing. Man, I'm trying to get my sounds up, man. It's been crazy. But yeah, DJ coming in, man. Here we go. Oh shoot. Yeah, man. Hey, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit all that good stuff, man. We about to get it rolling, man. My boy DJ about to call in. He about to call in for a minute. He's busy right now, so he couldn't get on a live stream visually, but we can always get him in on the sound, man. But I gotta get something going, man. I gotta, cause y'all saying y'all can't hear my man. I mean, hear my music. So hopefully, let's see something here. Get the audio. Microphone. Yeah, let's see. All right, so we got a lot to talk about, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about Deshaun Watson. We all gonna do a little bit of it. I'm gonna give DJ just a little bit to talk about his Super Bowl run and boast and all that. No, y'all ain't trying to hear that, man. But we're gonna talk about this quarterback thing and this situation in Carolina, man. It's a lot of talk. A lot of talk going on. We're also gonna talk about who's gonna potentially make the next move. All that stuff from Carolina, man. KK, salute to you, my G. Hate that you're gone. But we had to do it. It was time. Yo, what's good, man? Yeah, you win. Hey, can y'all hear DJ? Let me know. I'm gonna try to check out the video, see if I can hear you, man. If not, I gotta get my sounds right. Yeah, but we got DJ on the line, man. You sound good on my end. You sound a little low on the thing. So let me try. It's all about my sound, man. I'm trying to. Here we go. Let's see. Testing. Say something, DJ.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Y'all hear him now? 704. What's good, Austin? 3-point guard. We're inside. Oh, C-Dog up in this bitch. C-Dog up in this bitch. Yeah, so hopefully y'all can hear him better now, man. Sorry about this, man. I know it's been a while, man. We moving, we doing some stuff, man. But we gotta get some stuff off our chest. DJ and I have been talking. I will say this. Probably, what would you say, D? We've been going hours. We've been going in hours.
Yeah, we going hours. Right now, technology-wise, it's kind of difficult for us to get on and be with y'all. As you know, we might make it some moves. I'm closing on the house Monday.
Yeah.
So things are definitely going to be looking up from this direction. And y'all going to see a lot more of me in 2021. It's going to be a lot. I was about to watch your football, but I spend a lot of time at work right now. I spend about 8 hours a week at work.
That's fact.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, my second job, I have the flexibility at 15 to sit here and talk and do whatever. But the final thing, I just don't have. We haven't figured out the technology to really keep. I mean, maybe we could have gone through that. I don't know. Maybe we could talk about it and see what we could do. Possibly come on at night.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of nights out for me. I go on my phone and I ain't gonna have a lot of. Probably very simple on my end, but like you have to be obviously control it. But yeah, man, I want to get on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting congratulations to the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, yeah, we gonna let them get this out the way first before we dive into what we really want to talk about.
How about him? Defense wins championship. And it shows you that if you have an average quarterback, you can win a Super Bowl. Let's go.
That's real.
Super Bowl winning champion. That's what make that clear. Why is that too much, bro? That can't make me enjoy it. So I was gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, we gonna let you we gonna let you do yours when you can get your visual in. I see 704. I know I couldn't hear him either. Man. I don't know what he was doing over there. Nah, we heard you, nigga. But no. Yeah, but you said something important, man, and I've been I'm gonna stick with my guns, man. I've been saying some stuff about defenses. I've been catching it quite a bit about me going in saying that, I want defenses win championships, offense sells tickets. I know a lot of people believe it's quarterback this. You need a franchise quarterback. You need quarterback. It's all been quarterback. I'm a person that believes games are won in the trenches. And if you look at history, looking at the Super Bowl champs, it hasn't been the most dominant offenses to win majority of the Super Bowls over the last, 10 years, maybe more. It's been these teams that have been the better defenses that's won. We can go back to this past year. Tampa Bay was the number one rush defense. Their defense was playing out of this world. They didn't give up one touchdown to Patrick Mahomes, boy. Y'all ended up winning. The year before that, the defense made it in San Francisco, but that average quarterback wasn't able to get the job done against the offense. So I give you that. But other than that, man, you look at Atlanta was the number one offense. They played against Brady and them, who had one of the better defenses in the NFL, if not number one. When we were number one, Carolina, and offense scoring and all that, we had the Broncos, the number one defense. I mean, history's shown. You got the Seattle Seahawks, who had what's the defense, man? The secondary was called Legion of Boom. You know what I'm saying? History has shown Flacco, all of these guys, man. History has shown that defense wins championships. Yeah, Philadelphia. That wasn't a quarterback situation. You had Witt.
Defensive-minded head coach has been doing it for years.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. The Bucs' first Super Bowl, how did we win it? Against number one offense that year, MVP quarterback, all this great stuff. Last.
Yeah. Hey, right. It happens all the time, man. It happens all the time. But I ain't gonna get on my soapbox about that. We talk about that quite a bit, man. But let's dive into what everybody want to hear and talk about, man. DJ, since you're not the tainted one, you're not part of Panther Nation, you're not part of any of that. I want to hear your perspective on what do you think about the Carolina Panthers, and should we go all in to get Deshaun Watson? And if let's start there. Should we go all in to get Deshaun Watson, do you believe?
Yes and no. I wouldn't, if I was a Panther fan, no cat, you know what I'm saying? If I was a Panther fan, I wouldn't be mad either way.
Okay.
Because one way or another, at least the organization is telling me what they're trying to do. If you're going all in with the showing, Watson, whatever, you're telling me you're accelerating the process, and you should be coming as contenders sooner than later, because you basically mortgage a lot of your future first overall possible pick to bring in a quarterback of the caliber of Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all try to go that way, I can understand the unease. I can understand the anxiety. I understand everybody now. The Panthers on watch. You know, Matt Rule's on watch. They're on watch. You bring in somebody like that, you're saying, I can manage everything else on my team, because I have now a possibly a top 5 quarterback on my team. So I should be winning sooner than later. Now, the other direction.
Right.
Is also with Deshaun Watson, which I'm more of a fan of. Y'all getting back a little 7 years. You know what I'm saying? You're saying, basically, dismantle the team and build it back up. You're going for doing that for your technical years, your failing years. You suck early, but you bring it, you use your attitude and everything you see your team. And your team play a lot better, and they're very much a functional team. And hell, he put a lot of, shit, you can argue they put a decent amount of NFL talent players that weren't 5-star athletes into the NFL.
Right.
So, you believe in what he can do in building rosters and getting winning things. I would rather go that direction, because that's why you hired that rule. You didn't hire him to go after the same thing. One more question, because you don't really know what you got in the head coach, whatever things may be. So, like I said, I would rather go the other direction, keep my pick, build my roster. And, I knew what's impatient, right? I'm probably really impatient. Like, how many years now have y'all been out there?
3 straight years. We had 3 straight losing records.
So y'all had 3 straight years. This is probably going to be 4. I ain't trying to, I ain't even or nothing like that. But, I'm just being real, okay? Like, imagine what the rest of y'all know. They're going to show Watson. Maybe I should be throwing Watson now. Be a team to come out, the Falcons, somebody know the hell over there. So, yeah, they have a shot at that. But obviously, you know, a lot of movement that we got to make in the offseason. But I don't get that. But build to the ground. I'm saying, I'm saying, y'all tired of losing. That's not something y'all have done a lot of.
Consecutively what? Because have we done what?
No, I'm just saying, y'all research contending
right
every other year, right? We're usually there contending. We haven't really done that now for 3 years.
Right. You're right. That's been the.
Have some patience for another one. That's what everybody's thinking right now. I guarantee Destination feel that right now. You're talking to a 13-year drought fan. I'm saying I've seen the lows for. I've seen my friends So I understand. Actually, I don't. Like I said, it's been so long now. You know, it's hard. It's hard to sit there and imagine that. But I don't know, man. I just really honestly think y'all can build for the draft. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad either way. But I think there's two different measuring sticks that you go over the other. And that's just my opinion.
Right. And I dig that, man, because it's funny you brought that up because the Carolina Panthers, we're used to, especially as of late, we used to making the playoffs. Cam was there with us, 9 years, really 8. And we went to the playoffs 50% of the time, if I'm not mistaken. One of those seasons, but I think we're very, I shouldn't say spoiled, but we're at a place where people are becoming impatient. And so I think what you said stood out to me probably the most is that Matt Rule was brought here to build. That's the point. Matt Rule was brought here for 7 years to build this team to become a winning football team and be consistent winning. Not a year here, not having the ups and downs, not having that, but being winning teams. So when I look at this, I look at it a few ways. I agree with you. I think, it's kind of both. I will say this, the potential offer that was thrown out there with the 3 first-round picks and Christian McCaffrey, I can get with that. Some of y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I've been on record to say that, hey, I don't have to have C-Mac. I think when we come with these running backs, let's look at the history. Majority of the best running backs right now, DJ, in the league outside of the guys that just got paid, they were all balling on their rookie deals. You had Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott balled out on his rookie deal. He got his money, and now look what he's doing. He's still running hard, but he's still Todd Gurley balled out on his rookie deal. He got his money in there. You go to Dalvin Cook, you go to Nick Chubb, you go to Alvin Kamara. All of these running backs balled out during their rookie deal. So I'm not too sold on having a running back making that kind of money, thinking he's going to make that much of an impact when it comes to wins. So I'm okay with getting rid of him to bring in a guy like Deshaun Watson and having like the projected 3 first-round picks. I think I can survive off of that. But what I would prefer to do personally is what you said, the latter part. And that is building this team. I do think we can still build by going after Deshaun, because if we look at it technically, the first round draft pick with the 3 drafts would be Deshaun. Then the last 2 would be, the next 2 years. So it really just be 2 first round picks that we're giving up. And if we're balling out and doing our thing, then those would be latter picks. So it really wouldn't be that big of a deal anyway, if we can get to that point. But I don't think we are necessarily there yet. So I would prefer to just build this team and be patient with it. I know everybody's seeing what you all done in Tampa and think that that's the route to go. And it could be. And I think that – go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, you can – all right, so I'm not going to put the whole 13 years in this building, right? I'm just going to take it from when Jason Light got here. Okay. When Jason Light got here, the first pick was Mike Evans. You can technically say that was the beginning of building this roster and getting us to this point of winning a Super Bowl. That was
6 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago. I think it was in 2014 or something. Yeah.
Right. And 3 coaches later, we finally put it together. It was really the last 3 years of what we've done to build this roster before bringing Tom Brady. You ain't bringing the Tom Brady in 2016 or 17 and win a damn Super Bowl. Hell, you're lucky to make it to the playoffs.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. Those teams were horrific. Couldn't stop a call. Stop Mike Smith and defensive coordinator. Good fucking luck. You know what I'm saying? Like it was horrible.
Right.
It was hard to watch. You're running. So you have a running. They're running over the same cover. That was so. It's a prehistoric. It was. Oh my God! It was terrible. I mean, I still remember Matt Ryan coming to the press conference laughing because they said they knew exactly what they were going to do. When they were doing it, they made no adjustment to what we were doing.
Right.
Just trade us. I mean, it was week after week. So I don't care if you got Tom Brown, I don't care if you got Aaron Rodgers, I don't care if you got Patrick Mahomes. Ain't no damn way. So, but yeah, what I was saying, it still took us, even after, having people like Devontae Davis, like that, we had a lot, that's over. Outside of that, it was fun. The roster really didn't start getting built until 2018.
Yeah.
So, 3 home run records, making some smart, obviously, decisions is obviously to bring in Tom Brady, then Fournette. I mean, we had 2 the last 2 years, JPT, and then obviously nothing but drafting. One thing, we got a bunch of young players, offensive line, defensive line, young,
Right.
like old center. I guess you'll say per se. Allie Marpet, homegrown, Jonathan Smith, homegrown, Alex Hackett, homegrown, Christian Warren, homegrown. You put on the other side, six, Van. What's it called? Don't been around for a long time. I mean, look. And then you put in Devontae Davis. I mean, it's all built. It's how you build a roster. There's not many teams that you put together and make a super team and become great. You know what I'm saying? People, I don't know. Like, you can't be that NFL. Show me an NFL team that was just pieced together through a free agency and won a Super Bowl.
Right. See, and it doesn't. It rarely happens, man. And I can't think of it, man. Majority of these teams that win championships is because they drafted extremely well. And built and developed these players. So that's mine. Go ahead.
NBA. This ain't Madden or NBA.
Right.
That's the only place you probably can do that. You can't do that NFL.
And so
good coaching. Whoa. Good coaching.
Absolutely, good coaching. So if I'm doing this and I'm looking at this and I brought a guy like Matt Rule in, Matt Rule, his history has shown year 1, he usually sucks. It ain't no usually, he has sucked. Honestly, this year, I think he kind of overachieved because I felt like 6 or 7 wins would be a hell of a season for us. And he got very close to that. We had 8 games in 1 score possessions that we had a chance to win or tie the game at least, and we came out 0 for 8. So just imagine if we got 3 of those. That's 8 and 8. That's 500 right there. So that to me showed that this team was competitive. They're extremely close, but everybody keeps thinking it was only a quarterback. I get it. The ball was in Teddy Bridgewater's hands and he didn't deliver. But football games are more than just the last 5 minutes of the game. What happened to get that deficit? What happened to why we wasn't getting that lead? There's a lot that went on in that. Me personally, DJ, I would prefer. I love Deshaun. If we got him, I'm riding with him. I'm rocking the number 4. But I would prefer to build as much as possible through the draft and let my guys, my coaches, develop these players, get them on these rookie deals, have as much money as we can possibly have, and bring in the right free agents after we just drafted. Just imagine with this 7 defensive players that we just drafted this past year. We got 7 more coming in. Actually, probably 8. I think we got 7 or 8 more picks. If we hit on them, I ain't saying we got to hit on all of them, but we can definitely hit on them first ones. Maybe a few late. We draft some offensive linemen. We draft some corners. So some positions we need, and also just the best player available, and continue to do that. By the time next year comes, I think we'll be ready to rock because we got another draft, and then we can potentially have our guy. I just don't believe in just getting rid of everything. I shouldn't say everything. Getting rid of to have a quick fix. I think Deshaun would be I hate to come off that way, man, because you know how I feel. I don't want a Band-Aid. I don't want a Band-Aid quick fix thinking that this is just going to take us and shoot us to the promised land. It'd be different if we were already built. But we're not. Well, this is the second year of a head coach being in a new system. This is like the NFL. This is what David Tepper's fourth year as an owner. Like, we are babies in this. This is going to take some time for us to get to the point that we need to get to. Now, I'm not saying that Christian McCaffrey has to go. I'm not saying that. But what I do know is that running backs, in my opinion, come a dime a dozen. And history has shown the running backs on the rookie deal or these undrafted guys have actually made it to the Super Bowl and been successful. Let's look at Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones was their starting running back. Delaire, whatever his name is in Kansas City, was theirs. Both of those on rookie deals. The year before were two undrafted guys. The year before that, I mean, it goes on and on and on and tells that. Excuse me. So, you know, with Deshaun, with Rule, I don't want to spend too much time on it. We're going to transition to this quarterback so we can talk on it because I know it's a lot going on, especially in Panther Nation with quarterbacks. And Tampa actually needs to address quarterback too. So we'll touch on that. But Deshaun will bring seats and fan bases from the Clemson, South Carolina area and the Carolinas this period. I get it. He's an attractive guy. He's a top 5 quarterback, in my opinion. All of that. But if you don't have your offensive line to be able to protect him, if you don't have these guys to be in position to help him win, it's going to be very similar to how he was in Houston this past year. He's balling out, having an MVP season, and you can't win. So I'm not about that. I would rather build my team, and there's a lot of places we can address and talk about some stuff, man. But I do think there's a couple quarterbacks in this draft. But I do want to quote something, man. Out of the last, I know y'all seen it on Twitter also. What's good, everybody, man? What's good, Zero Chill? What's good, Aaron Chase Jr.? What's good with you, Maurice Crosby? What's good, everybody? It says from 2009 to 2016, there were 22 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. None of them are on the teams that they drafted. And there are quite a few of them that actually haven't even that aren't even starting right now. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, y'all tell me. I'm gonna read some of these chats, man. Comments in the chats, and then I'll get back on it, man. Oh, look at DJ calling back in. Hold on. Yo, what's up, man? Oh, you good. Yeah, so let me turn this down. So like I'm saying, man, these quarterbacks drafted in the first round, there was a stat that came out in 2009 to 2016, and 22 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round, and none of them are on their team, and there are quite a few of them that aren't even starting anymore or even in the league. You got Mark Sanchez, Josh Freeman, Sam Bradford, Cam Newton, Jake Locker, Tim Tebow, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, Robert Griffin III, Andrew Luck, Brandon Whedon, E.J. Manuel, Blake Bortles, Johnny Football, you know, Jameis, Marcus Mariota, even though I think Jameis is going to start, Paxton Lynch, these guys. And that's why I wanted to say, we're going to transition to the draft. And this is why I get some of the reason why Panther Nation are saying, look, check this out. Let's go get a franchise quarterback, a guy that we know is proven, a guy that we know that's young and is, you know, he's a top 5 quarterback in this league. And we can have him set and we can build everything else around him because we have him set on our roster. Because going through the draft, as we've seen here, it is very hit or miss. Very hit or miss. So I understand the logic behind that. I understand why people are saying, look, man, do what you got to do to get this guy. Because getting a franchise quarterback is very difficult. it's so much easier to go get a guy like, and I hate to just keep throwing Christian out there, but it's so much easier to go get a guy that can, I'm not going to say be like Christian in the backfield and catching the ball, doing that type of thing, but you can go get you a running back that can give you yards and move the chains and get in the end zone and do things like that. And you can do it with multiple guys. That happens all the time. So to me, if you gotta give them up, you just gotta give them up. You gotta give them up. Yeah.
I want to interject something you're talking about. The reason why, if you give Deshaun Watson, there's no guarantee that Deshaun Watson going to want to sign on the contract with y'all.
That's real.
Especially if you guys are winning or if it doesn't work. There's no guarantee you have a franchise quarterback after what? Yeah, 3 or 4 years left.
He just signed, so he was just in his first year last year, so I believe he has about 3 or 4.
That's a window.
Right.
So that means you have to be able to draft well within the next 2 years.
Right.
Deshaun Watson still playing at a very high level. That means, you know what you're asking? We were talking about the other day, Mike. Deshaun Watson is paying his money. The team quarterbacks right now, they're kind of in the right now. These players are starting now, a lot more the people around the team ain't going with they want to go. That could easily be the Deshaun Watson in 3 years. And now you're back to ground zero. Especially if it is round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that can be a problem because now you just took another 3 years and nothing has come up. And you could have drafted pieces that, you know, I mean, if you're drafting, let's say, in my opinion, I think you should draft defense in the first round as much as possible. That's my personal opinion. I think a lot more talent out there that you can build a good defense. I think you don't want to wear the ball and take them.
Yeah, boy, you be butchering that. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, man, I just honestly think that it's like, I don't know. I just think that you just don't watch it. You can't just sit here and act like you're going to be
Right. Right, and you're right. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. And that's one heck of a point. So.
If you try to get the right rookie,
right. So, DJ, I do want to address a couple questions, some things going on. I'm sorry if I missed some of the stuff earlier, man. But what are your thoughts, man? We're gonna get on this quarterback draft thing because there are some guys that I don't understand why and how people are really rating these quarterbacks. But we're gonna touch on this. That's gonna get heated. So we're gonna get into that in a minute. And we ain't hold no bars. I'm going to start off and then I'm going to let you talk on this. I am not for the Carolina Panthers trading up to go get a quarterback in this draft. I am not at all. The reason why I'm not for it is we were in position. We could have been 3rd or 4th, to be real, if we wouldn't have beat the Washington football team. So if we wanted to go get one of these top tier quarterbacks in the draft, we should have been smart enough to plan that out. To just do that in the draft. We wasn't going to the playoffs anyway. So if that's the move we wanted to do, then that's what we should have done. I'm not about losing draft picks, especially with a young team and a new head coach that likes to build through the draft, about losing picks to go up to move to get a quarterback in the first round. I'm not about that. Whoever falls to us is whoever falls to us, and we get the best player at that time. So what are your thoughts about Carolina trading up, quote unquote, to go get one of these quarterbacks? Thank you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and Mike talk about these quarterbacks. I've been talking about these quarterbacks last year. I like these quarterbacks when I played draft a lot better than I did last year. quarterbacks that came into the league. But I don't like him so much that I would move up in the draft and pick any of them. The whole case for the draft time, like I said, I don't want to get too much into the talk of the players, but I just don't think it's worth it because you're going to be mortgaging the future again. Now, really, I don't come out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what that player is going to turn out to be. So, no, I'm against it. I don't think we should do that. I think y'all have a good position. And if y'all get one, I think there's some mid-tier quarterbacks that can come in. It's a fine. I think that would be the best case scenario. So what do we say as in going up and going to get? Who we putting in place that destination? If there was to be, you guys want to jump from like 8 to 1 position, go get one of these, probably 3 quarterbacks.
Well, I'm here. I hear 4. The 4, yeah. Well, you're right. The 3 quarterbacks. So we're not going to be able to go up to get 1. So that's not an option for us. So it's one of those 3 quarterbacks. Sorry, they're saying they can't hear you on the thing, so I'm trying to fix the audio a little bit. Man, that ain't got nothing to do with the internet, man. Ain't nobody sensitive, nigga. There we go. Ain't nothing sensitive, man. I'm just trying to make sure we good on the audio side of it, man. Damn this thing. There we go. All right, so I'm trying to do something real quick to try to help.
Sorry about that, man. Let me see. Let me get the mic going. Let's see. Y'all here? Y'all here, DJ?
1, 2, 3. I mean, shoot, if you want to take this past 12 o'clock, we might jump on StreamYard. So, if this is not really working out as well as you expected.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the sound right, man, a little better. They say it sounds low now. Okay, all right, let's see. So let me check that out. They say yeah, it's better. Which one is it?
Is it better? Is it worse?
All right, we're gonna try that and see if it's a little better, man. Let me turn this up. There we go. It's better below. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so let's talk about this, man. So since we're in the mode of talking about quarterbacks, man, and talking about this draft and moving up and things like that, D, you and I talk about a quarterback. In our opinion, it says DJ is better, but the volume is lower. Okay, all right. So what the? Well, I swear. All right. Okay. All right. DJ, say something real quick. D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bet. So we're going to talk about these quarterbacks, man. Everybody got Trevor Lawrence number 1 on their books. I'm going to give y'all a little shocker. We ain't going to go long in it, but DJ and I actually agree on who we think the best quarterback in this draft is probably going to be and who we think is right there. Well, let's just touch on it. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence. Everybody got Trevor Lawrence, right? That's the number 1 guy. Number 2 seems to be a guy by the name of Zach Wilson. Number 3, I'm hearing now is Trey Lance. No, I'm not going to do that. Justin Fields and Trey Lance is right there with them. Todd McShay actually has Trey Lance one step ahead of Justin Fields. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. DJ and I actually believe, I don't want to speak for you, I'm going to speak for me. And I'm going to let you speak for you. I think Justin Fields is right there with Trevor Lawrence. Hell, he could slightly be better than Trevor Lawrence. What I do when I evaluate these quarterbacks, man, is big game situations, big game play. And Justin Fields has been right there at number 1 and number 2 his entire career, even high school. Both of these cats are from Georgia. But yet Trevor was number 1 when they came out. But somehow, some way, Zach Wilson has one season that's not even as good as Justin Fields' season before in a COVID year, but yet he jumps Justin Fields. I believe DJ said this best. He pointed out a guy that Justin Fields could potentially be, not Justin Fields, excuse me, Zach Wilson. And that's the Mitchell Trubisky effect. This feels so much like the Deshaun Watson getting duped when he came out, having to go, once again, Deshaun went, 12th? And they took Mitchell Trubisky first. And I can see something very similar with Zach Wilson going number 2 off the board. And then him being a lot like Mitchell Trubisky. If you look at their junior years, they were very similar. Very similar with the amount of touchdowns thrown, a lot of interceptions, all of that. But what bothers me about this is everybody's looking at this guy, Zach Wilson, just because of the flick of the wrist. Because he's swag. Because of what they've seen Patrick Mahomes do. So because Patrick Mahomes is the trend now, and he does all these acrobatic, these magician throws, and so it looks like Zach Wilson has potential to be that. And I'm not saying he can't, DJ. I'm getting my rant off, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm not saying he can't. But tell me how a guy we never heard of that started 2 seasons all of a sudden has one bomb year against doo-doo ass competition, and then when he plays against competition, he doesn't win. And he actually was mediocre, if you ask me. Slightly above mediocre. But it's because he played at BYU. He can read defenses. He can throw this ball well. But you know what? He's not battle tested. I don't want a quarterback that's not battle tested. He gives me all kind of vibes. And thank you, 704. Jimmy Clausen was a franchise quarterback, Todd McShay said. I'm telling you, I am not buying this guy. I am not buying it. I don't wish him any harm. I'm not going to sit there and say he can't do this. He won't do that. But something just in me just can't believe how Justin Fields can go from being number 1 or 2 out of high school, continue on and do the same thing in college. His production speaks for itself. In 6 to 8 games, this man had balled out. And then to play against a Clemson team and hang up 6 touchdowns to 1 interception on him, but yet he can't throw the ball. He can't read defenses. All he wants to do is one read and take off. I haven't seen that. I've seen this man go through its progressions. And if you actually look at the film and watch him play, he's phenomenal in the red zone. And I don't mean just running the ball. I'm talking about decisive decisions, getting the ball to their receivers they can make plays. And who the hell are their receivers? So I'm bugging. I'm really, really bugging about this because he plays in the Big Ten. The Big Ten. The Big Ten. We're talking about competition, not the ACC. And I'm not trying to knock Trevor,
Not the ACC, where they don't have nobody that they're competing against outside of probably Carolina right now. But other than that, there's nobody. Miami is a shell of itself. Georgia Tech ain't worth a damn. Virginia Tech is nowhere near like they used to be. Florida State ain't nowhere near where they used to be. But yet, Trevor Lawrence can have a subpar game against Chapel Hill, but no one sees any blemishes on him. He can have a subpar game in the national championship last year. I get it, everybody, that was a tough game, but no blemishes against him. He can get outplayed by Justin Fields, in my opinion, in both games, but there are no blemishes to his game. But yet, everybody wants to call out Justin Fields and say he can't read defenses. He can't do that. How? This man, DJ, go ahead before because what I don't want, what I really want to say. I don't want to just say, guess what, guys? It's because he's a black quarterback and Todd McShay seemed like I don't want to go that route. I want to use facts and numbers and say, guess what, guys? How? Explain logic. I want to do that without saying the race card, because now not everything's about race. But this is so stupid to me, how Zach Wilson can have this one quote unquote season, and now all of a sudden he's the top tier quarterback coming out, and Carolina Panthers fans want this to be our quarterback. That's crazy. You think Teddy's? That's crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, and it was also during a pandemic. I mean, BYU was one of the teams this season that played basically a full schedule. You know, there wasn't a lot of teams this year that played full schedules. You know, obviously the off season not being what we all expected. And go look at BYU the year before that. I had to go back and look. BYU's been winning around. They've been winning in that fall conference, in independent or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been winning.
They sure have.
And they've been, you know, last year, I would argue, they had a harder schedule. And Zach Wilson didn't even finish the season. They had other quarterbacks playing, not him. I didn't even know that either. I had to go back and look at him. So I don't know if he got injured. I don't know what happened, and they were still winning. So, you know, there's a couple things there that, you know, it's just things that scare you when it comes to this guy. And like you said, you know, Mike has already, we've dissected this to a T. When it comes to looking at, you know, Zach Wilson, like I said, he told me about the Zach Wilson kid probably about a month or two ago now, and he was like, "You just go look at him and see what you think." Or when I turn on the tape, I say, "Okay, I can see this man and why people get really excited." You see, like you said, the ball comes off his hand kind of effortlessly. I mean, he has a big arm. You know, he can throw the ball different angles, this, that, and stuff, but it's not consistent. First of all, and then second. You don't see it against I mean, it's even hard to say in that small conference that they're in, the better team that they play. You know, he looks pedestrian in some ways. And like I said, BYU as a team, I didn't know they were as decent at that level of football as they are. But yeah, man, it felt, and that's the first thing I told Mike when I watched him, and then the way he shoot up the board, it felt, and you go look at Mr. Trubisky's stats. I was first one call. I said, look, this is very Mr. Trubisky. You know, I was like, look, this looks, it feels very much like it. You know, a junior, you know, coming on out of nowhere, had some pretty decent stats. Next thing you know, he's beating out people in Power 5 conferences. I mean, Patrick Mahomes comes out of Texas Tech. And then Deshaun Watson, 2 years in a row, go against the juggernaut of Alabama and, you know, beat him once and then took him basically almost to the end the year before that. It's so similar right now with Justin Fields. He took basically Clemson to the end of the world just to end up losing that game because of miscommunication. The wide receiver goes one direction. He throws the corner. The kid ran a post. That was easily a miscommunication. He misfired. If he ran that other route, it could have been something else. You know what I'm saying? And we could be talking about back-to-back Ohio State national championships. You know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, I don't want to say that.
Appearances.
That's Alabama this year. But once again, you're right. And appearances. I mean, Alabama this year, Jesus.
And LSU last year was
right. I mean, probably two of the best built teams that we've seen Hell, shit. Those are really good teams, man.
Right.
Shoot.
Right.
But yeah, man, it just doesn't make any sense. I get the whole excitement that Trevor Lawrence brought, especially early. You know, freshman starting. I mean, he played really, really well coming out. But as he matured into the position, there was things that scared me about Trevor Lawrence. I watched him play. I'm not very big on, you know, and like you kind of said with black quarterbacks, they used to kill black quarterbacks because they had the ability to run. Both of these, you know, Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, these motherfuckers do more, you know, running plays than they do practice.
Facts.
And then when they're in the pocket, you know, I watch Trevor. Trevor's a one-read quarterback, and he's off. He's running. He's out. He's not even thinking about it. I was very shocked by that. I heard all this stuff about him. I wasn't following Trevor like that for a little while. I had to watch a lot of tape on him. I'm not seeing him really go through progression. And now I went and looked at Justin Fields. Man, I made the comparison. He reminds me of Russell Wilson. Just the way he moves in the pocket, you know, his footwork. You know, he even when he's on the run, he's keeping his eyes down the field. He never drops his eyes. Like I said, you can go back and look at this stuff. You know, if you don't like my analysis, this is what I'm seeing. I mean, this is as clear as I can go. And Trey Lance, I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of tape on him. I really can't see a lot. I see the stats.
Right.
Very impressive. The 1 year, you know, anybody that doesn't throw any interceptions, but you know, puts up the stats that he did, you can't overlook it. You know, that's impressive. But yeah, man, I just honestly I can't see how Zach Wilson at a BYU 1 year just takes over. You know, possibly. I see some people saying, hell, they're putting Zach Wilson above Trevor Lawrence,
Right.
who was the tank for Trevor for how many years now? You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, this guy is overtaking both quarterbacks. Wow.
Hey.
Wow. Where? What? Tell me more. I need more of why, because I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, now.
Hey.
But yeah, I don't see it.
Zero chill. When you watch the games against a really tough competition, check out the game against Ohio State last year. Check out the game. I know it was LSU. Check out the game against LSU last year. With, I'm not saying Trevor isn't poised and can't have any he's a little shaky, man. He is a little shaky. And 704, shout out to you, man, because Justin Fields, DJ and I say this all the time. He compares to Russell and Watson to me, man, to us. Those are Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. That's the comparison I see from this guy. You're talking about a guy that got hurt in the game, got jacked up in the game, came back in, and still was throwing dimes, still throwing touchdowns, still out there playing his heart out. He was one of the guys that didn't want to let this season go Justin Fields was already going to be a top tier quarterback coming out just by his performance last year in the draft. If he would have came out last year. But he didn't want to just sit at home and take this COVID thing out. He wanted to go out there and play and try to redeem themselves to get them to a national championship and potentially win one. That, to me, that's the type of character I want as my quarterback. That's the type of leader that I want as a quarterback.
Man. Right. And right, Mike, you hit on the edge. The maturity that man showed, I mean, like you said, I mean, he was an advocate. If you look at it, I mean, he's already a leader. He was a leader in the NCAA. I mean, he was an advocate. Let us play. You know what I'm saying? He was huge on that. Like you said, he killed your boy Zach Wilson's numbers last year. It could have easily came out last year and probably would have been right in the mix of being that top 3 quarterback coming out last year off that 41 touchdowns to like 3. His numbers were ridiculous as well.
Crazy.
It's in a Power 5 conference. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not doing this against Liberty or Coastal Carolina, who were the 2 best in that conference. Which, you know, you're not beating those type of teams, putting up 41 damn touchdowns. Like, he could have easily went that route, but no, he came back He had something to prove. He didn't like the way the Clemson game ended at the end. And what did he do? He came back with a sense of urgency. And like I said, there's just certain intangibles that you just can't teach.
Right.
That this man has shown in his college career. Like I said, and something about a cool, calm quarterback.
Yes.
During the game, and they love putting the camera on him. He never looks flustered. He never looks it. Even when things aren't going perfect. Against Alabama. I mean, this man was still, like, he was dialed in. He was playing, basically, like I said, nothing ever felt like it was really out of his hands, or it was never really out. Like, I don't know. It's just something about all that put together, and I would want that in my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If I had to look at these quarterbacks, these three quarterbacks, Trey Lance being a wild card in my opinion.
Right.
And what intangibles I would rather have as my quarterback. Justin Fields checks more boxes than those other two quarterbacks. That's my opinion.
Right. So if we're going to go through some quarterbacks, so we're going to hit on. We've already hit on Trevor Lawrence, hit on Justin Fields. We gave our opinion on Zach Wilson. Just throw a little nugget out here on Trevor Lawrence. The Ohio State game last year, Trevor Lawrence was 18 for 33, which was 54%, 54.5% completion. He did have 2 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He ran 16 times for 107 yards and had 1 touchdown. I'm telling you, if he didn't come out there like Cam Newton running that ball, they weren't going to win, so I give him that. The next game, he went 18 for 37 for 48.6% completion, 0 passing touchdowns, 0 interception, 10 rushes for 49 yards and 1 touchdown. So to me, when I looked at that, I was like, dang, this man can play Georgia Tech. He can play Syracuse, UNC, Charlotte, Florida. These teams that are in the ACC that haven't been good as of late. And, put up those numbers and really ball out. Really, 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 really ball out. But then he got to tough competition on a neutral site. And he had some games. So I'm interested to see how that translates to the NFL. That's all. But he is going to surefire, in my opinion, be the number 1 draft pick. Don't get me wrong. The boy can ball. He got great size. I like Sunshine a lot. I love him a lot. He can ball. So this is not knocking him. This is just saying we just got to call out some real.
I'm knocking him. I'm sorry. I'm knocking him. I'm sorry. I think he can potentially – look, I told Mike the other day, I went back and looked at him. In my opinion, I think he overall, when he does throw the ball, you can't argue he might throw a better ball than Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah.
Mike can tell you
he did. He said it.
But the problem is that I don't know how comfortable this man actually feels in the pocket to down in and down out, just deliver the ball. I haven't seen it really, like you just said, the stats. I mean, they have him running, counters and powers out of shotgun. Like, I don't know. It just really feels like if it's not there, this is one of your escape routes. Go that way. It just feels very gimmicky at what they made with Trevor Lawrence, which, like I said, it makes me have questions about him as a quarterback, just sitting in the pocket and delivering the ball. Like I said, he's not Cam Newton. He's not built like some of these big quarterbacks, and he's going to get to the NFL. If he even tries to play that way, he's going to get broken quickly. That's no question. And on top of that, yes, he has speed, but guess what? Everybody in the NFL has speed. So that stuff that he thinks he can get away with in college, he won't be able to get away with. You'll have a lineman chasing him and damn near catching him with some of that stuff that he was doing. So, like I say, it's just that type of stuff is a little alarming. But yeah, he's going to be the number 1 pick. I feel like, Jacksonville, they don't take him, what's his name? Urban Meyer is already going to put himself on the hot seat. Like, I think it's that deep that he has to take Trevor Lawrence.
Right. So that's what we got. So if you want to put, I do feel like Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence to me are the top 2. Then after that, I don't have enough film on Trey Lance, but I do think Trey Lance could be special in this daggone draft. And he could be the sleeper quarterback. I'm not necessarily sleeper because he's getting his just due, but he could be that hot shot quarterback in this draft. We just don't have enough time. And to me, wherever he goes, I think he needs to sit. I really think all of them do. but he definitely needs to sit and learn whatever system he's in and go from there and just develop as a player, even if it's just a year or two. He needs to do that. But yeah, so you got Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. I think I want to put Trey and Zach maybe 3-4.
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna put Trevor. I'm gonna go with a bit. Trevor, Justin, and then Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, 3A and 3B.
Okay.
Because literally they got one season each that you could really say was really, really good, but I have not much else to go after that.
Right.
Because look, 42 touchdowns and no interceptions. You know, you want to praise Zach Wilson doing his 33 and his 3 interceptions on a lower, conference of Division I. Hell, you can argue. I mean, the North Dakota State is like a Division I school of the way because Carson Wentz came out of there. So I mean, you can argue that type of football that's played on that level,
right,
can translate because it kind of has. You got Carson Wentz in there,
right, and you got. I mean, this is the thing about. I will say, I'm the one more nugget about Justin. But somebody that can't read defenses, can't throw the ball, can't do that. This guy had 40 touchdowns to 1 interception the entire season until they went to the playoff game last year. Not the year before, yeah, in 2019. 40 touchdowns to 1 interception, and he finished third in the Heisman. That is crazy to me. Crazy. Right. All right, so we got that out the way. Our next quarterback, we're gonna do top 10. We're gonna run through this real quick. And we're definitely gonna touch on that 704. We're gonna touch on that Wentz situation too. We're gonna touch on that. So number 5, DJ, I think we both had this. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but Mac Jones.
And I will even argue Mac Jones possibly should be number 3.
Let's talk about Mac Jones.
I had to go back and watch him. That kid is good.
Yes, he is.
That kid is good.
Yes, he is.
I'm a lot. I mean, accuracy-wise, he's probably the most accurate quarterback. He's probably the most accurate quarterback. He's very decisive. I think he does the most at the beginning of the snap. He commands, his command is very impressive.
Absolutely.
But he's more of a traditional quarterback. And I love his toughness. He went out there with he had a strain, something going on with his leg. And did you see how well he played in that game? Like, I don't know. It's something. I understand that the talent that was out there. I mean, you had the Heisman winning wide receiver out there. I mean, yeah, until he got hurt. But like I said, Mac is just an impressive, intriguing player in this draft. Like I said, I might put him 3, Mike. I might put him 3.
Be truthful, I'm with you on that, man. I think he's just based on what I saw, because we got to see him play this year and we didn't see Trey Lance, and I'm not sold on the level of competition of Zach Wilson. I'm okay with that. This guy here, man, I mean, I like the way he was at in the Senior Bowl. I liked him throughout the entire season. He's very decisive and sure of himself. He reads the defenses. He can get off quick. He throws a hot ball. I get it. Everybody wants to talk about his arm strength, but I saw some things, in my opinion, that I was like, man, I don't need him to have to just throw the ball 80 yards down the field. Who's throwing the ball 80 yards down the field?
I think he was the most accurate deep ball thrower in NCAA. If I'm not mistaken. I saw some stat where Mac Jones was I think he was the best deep thrower statistically in NCAA.
That does not surprise me. You're talking about a guy, and I know he had weapons. I get it. You're talking about a guy that finished with 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And then one thing about him, like I said, I'm big on the intangibles of a quarterback, the character of the adversities. This guy sat behind multiple players and waited his turn to come out and ball out. He didn't just cry and say, "Oh, they're not playing me. I'm going to transfer somewhere where I can play." He fought and earned this spot and earned this opportunity to do what he's done. I really, really like that about a guy, man. He shows high character. He shows a type of leadership. He shows a type of focus. Mac Jones was one of the better guys coming out of his high school class too. So it wasn't like he was a slouch. He was highly recruited. Highly recruited. Very talented guy, man. I'm impressed. I didn't realize he was as good as he was. I just kind of took his talent and said, well, he had a lot of talent out there. He didn't have Waddell out there for majority of the season either. Let's not forget about that. But he did have all kind of talent. But I'm impressed. He's not going to be very mobile. He's not going to do that kind of stuff. But when you're talking about somebody that's going to get that ball out of his hands quickly and be decisive and put some zip on that ball, I mean, from what I hear with the senior practice is that he came out there, DJ, with guys he didn't know. And you know how timing is with a quarterback and receiver. And you would think that they've been practicing all season or playing together because his timing was so impeccable. That's special. You just don't find that. You don't find that. So I'm with you on that, man. But right now we got him at 5. Could be as high as 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his footwork is clean. Like his footwork is clean. I mean, his drop back, it's impressive. I like Mac Jones. I just got on the Mac Jones train not so long ago, so I'm a little excited about him. I do like Mac.
I like him too. So we got a question from my boy 704 Charlotte Brown. What's up, man? 704 Bound Charlotte. He says, so can you take Mac Jones at 8? What do you think, DJ?
I would. I am on board. Me and Mike haven't even talked about this yet.
No,
that was something I meant to, before we even got on, I didn't get to mention it. But I did watch Mac Jones. And I watched some of his highlights. I watched a little bit of game tape. I would. But you will have to build up your defense. Your offensive line has to be a priority. I got receivers that he can deliver the ball to. I mean, this man, he got a pretty ball. I don't know, tight spiral.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that excite me about Mac Jones. And whoever's in here right now, go back and watch Mac Jones and tell me that type of guy you would not want in your locker room. And like I said, watch some interviews. Like I said, I like this dude.
See, those are the things that people don't usually talk about a lot. But that's what I love about certain players, man. And I watch that. And watch for those type of guys because it's more than just throwing this little sexy sidearm whatever pass, man. I want a bona fide leader. One thing about Mac Jones is I believe this man will die on the football field to win a game for his team. I just believe he's that kind of guy.
I love that.
And those right, and those are the kind of guys that you will go to war and battle with, and he's going to elevate everybody else's play. That's what I want in my locker room as a franchise quarterback. I want somebody that's going to be willing to let it all on the line. That's not going to be scared to go out there and play ball. If you're going to make mistakes going 500, trying to win, giving everything you got. I can deal with that. So I'm with you, DJ. A lot of people. There was a guy. I don't even want to give him credit, man. On Keep Pounding TV. Shout out to Keep Pounding TV, Big Cat 704, Twan, Ray Pat Bone, and Unk. Everybody on there, man. This guy Leo was big on Mac Jones. And I was kind of the one that was like, he got all that talent, this and that. But I didn't really watch. You know what I'm saying? I just seen some highlights. I didn't really watch because I don't like Alabama. I don't. My son, I don't like Alabama. So I had the chance to really sit back and watch him too, DJ. I'll pull the trigger on him. I will pull the trigger because I think he's a guy that I can build my team with and around and have great success. Will he ever be an MVP? Will he ever be those type of things? I don't know. I can't sit there and say he'll turn out to be that. I don't know.
No matter what anybody that you draft, you don't know any of that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, Mike. Like I said, he reminds me of what everybody thinks Phillip Rivers is supposed to be, in my opinion. I just watch him play. he's what that image of what I don't know. Like I said, he's a little more mobile. I think he throws a little better on the run, but he has that like kind of like when it comes off his hand, it's like it's a very quick release. It's like a kind of another quarterback that can just get the ball out. He's not, it's no long wind up, none of that crap. And and just look at the way Alabama played this year. I know you don't watch Alabama. Alabama wide receivers are very similar to y'all wide receivers.
Yes, they are.
And he was hitting those in stride, doing the same type of routes that y'all run. So I can see it. I can definitely see it in Carolina, and it worked.
Yeah. And you're right, Zero Chill. And I'm gonna get to some of these questions too, DJ, before we move on. But Zero Chill said Mac Jones only had 1 year too, so I guess he's saying what's the difference between him and Zach Wilson.
He's not above Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence.
That's exactly why he's not above them. Thank you. Also, we got a question from, let's see here, or a comment. It says offensive line seems not to be a priority. Shout out to David Barber for the Panthers. I would have to disagree, man. I really think, and from what I hear and from what I heard, is that David Tepper and our new GM, I think that is the priority. I think they understand that football games are won in the trenches. So I believe getting the offensive line intact and making sure we draft the right guys and have that is probably such of a greater priority than just going out thinking we just going to just get any and every quarterback. I think it's more. The reason why I say that is because I believe the reason why we cut KK now is to make sure we can franchise tag Taylor Moton. We got to keep him. Now you got Taylor Moton at the right. You have your center in Paradis. I know people don't really care for him. You got Dennis Daly we drafted. He got to play. He got to learn. And I saw some flashes from Greg Little. We still got Trent Scott. I mean, this offensive line, you can get guys in second, third, fourth, fifth. I mean, you can get a lot of guys from what I saw in this draft later on, and they just got to play. They got to be coached and played. So I think it is going to be a priority that this team, don't be surprised if we draft 2 or 3 offensive linemen, double down on offensive linemen in this draft. Don't be surprised with that. What else we got real quick? It says, here's one question before we move on, because that's 1 through 5. Brian Best says, can Mac Jones be a day one starter? What do you think, DJ?
Can he?
Oh, okay, David, I got you.
Can he? I guess, yeah, but I don't know. Like you kind of said, I don't like throwing quarterbacks to the wolves. I don't really like that much. There's not many that can sustain success. It can mess with your confidence early. Nah, I mean, especially with our roster, right now, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. But like I said, I feel like he's a quick learner, and I think he's impressive enough where you're gonna have no other choice. I think he's gonna probably bond with your wide receivers very well, or the offense in general.
And he's
probably a quick learner. I mean, he's Alabama, so I mean, he's probably going to end up being that if you draft him first overall pick. Y'all understand they're going to sit back and probably let Teddy Bridgewater or P.J. Walker or Will Greer go out there. And if you got a Mac Jones on your bench, get him out there and learn. The faster you learn, the faster you guys probably can get back, somewhere be contenders. All right?
Right. And I like that answer. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think these guys are going to let these young guys get opportunities to play. And the best way you learn is playing. Now, I do believe every last one of these quarterbacks probably should sit a year. Every last one of them. I don't think any of them should just come in and be day one starters. And that's just my personal opinion. I think you look at Patrick Mahomes, boy. He didn't start day one. He wasn't. They waited till the last game of the season for him to get a start and some play. And his game actually wasn't that good. He didn't have a good start. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He set quite a bit. So, hey, put him to the, like 704, like you just said, man, put him to the fire, see what he can do, let him learn, and let that happen. Now, I will want to address something, man. People keep talking about our offensive line is gone, this and that. I see the salary. I see what's going on. But there are a lot of guys that we have, that we drafted, that are on this roster, that's still on this roster, that's going to play. Greg Little is going to play. I believe we're going to get him some competition, but Greg Little's a second-round draft pick that I believe is going to play. Dennis Daly is going to play. I think we'll re-sign Miller. Trent Scott is there, who's a swing guy. We're going to keep Taylor Moton. We're going to have an offensive line that's going to be coached up and very comfortable because they all were there last year, and then we're going to bring in some new pieces, and I think we're going to be fine. I don't think we have to be the top tier offensive line, but I think we're going to address it and we're going to play really well with the offensive line. So I think we're good there. But yeah, we're going to move on to a few more because somebody called me out and said, how do I feel about what am I trying to say? Kellen Mond still. So we're gonna go to 6. We're gonna go to 6. 6. Who do you got, DJ? I got Trask there. Think we said Trask would be number 6, flirting with Kellen Mond.
Yeah, this was close. I think Mike's gonna have Trask. I'm gonna have Mond. I've been a Mond fan for now about going on 2 seasons now. I've been really. I like him as a prospect. I did think he might have been a top prospect when I first started to catch my eye on him and start watching him play. But as he kind of, I guess, went over the next year or two now, I kind of get why he's a mid-round talent because once again, what we always talk about, consistency, right?
Right.
That's something. Even though he didn't have the best talent around him, I want to see a little more consistency from him. I don't know how good, the coaching staff over there is, and that might be something there with him. But once again, he shows me he wants to deliver the ball. He wants to stay in the pocket. He has mobility. He'll stay in the pocket, deliver big arm. And once again, another player that just comes off as very cool, calm, collective, and just he seems quiet though. He doesn't seem like a very boisterous leader. But he's more of just like I'm a lead with my play, and I like that. Everybody has different styles, right? So
right.
He's very intriguing, and I really can't find a game where he just looks out of whack, like he didn't deserve to be in the game. I can't really point out a game that he's really ever been like that. At times, has he looked average? Yes. But at other times, he looked like, wow, like you can argue he could be one of the better quarterbacks in this draft. But once again, it's not consistent. That's the problem.
Hold on, DJ. I'm going to let you finish, man. I just got to read this real quick. David Barber said, shout out to David again, man. Mond will be an NFL tight end.
Wow.
All right, so this is what I need y'all to understand, man. Well, go ahead, D. I want you to continue on with that, man.
No, I mean, that's all I got. And
Okay.
I'm very interested in where he is going to fall, which it seems like you can probably get this kid around the 3rd, 4th, possibly 5th round. These drafts are so weird, you don't really know how it's going to all play out. I like that because you know why? Because he's probably going to end up on a roster that's probably going to be a pretty decent roster.
Facts.
And I think he's going to end up on a team that he's going to end up with a good coach.
Facts.
That could give him the best opportunity to really bring out the best of him, which, as a quarterback, that's all you can really ask for.
Kellen Mond could potentially be one of those. I'm not saying his talent is there, but he can be one of those late 3rd, 4th round picks like the Russell Wilson, the Dak Prescott, those type of guys that go to a really good football team that's already in place and go out there and ball out and win, man. I can see that with Kellen Mond. And one thing about Kellen Mond, we're going to get to this Wentz trade. We're going to try and wrap this up real quick. I just wanted to address Kellen Mond because I've been speaking on him. DJ was on him before me. Honestly, DJ put me on him, and I started studying and following him. Kellen Mond was a blue chip, pretty much top, really high. I shouldn't say blue chip, but he went to IMG. He was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school, was highly recruited. I'm big on that. He got Texas A&M to be the highest or winning. I mean, the talent that Texas A&M had at the receivers and all of that, for him to have his team as a top 5 team in the NFL, I mean in the NCAA. I know it was a COVID year, but him to compete on the level that he competed and led his team, I think it was like since World War II, this team hasn't been ranked as high or as good or something like that. Many wins. I don't know what it is. It was some stat that was crazy. Kellen Mond was able to do. I think it's really, really phenomenal. I think there are some things with him. I don't think he's consistent enough either, DJ. I think he needs to be more vocal. He needs to be, more of a, I don't know, it seemed like more of a vocal leader. But one thing about him is that they say what gets in his way is he's too intelligent. Sometimes he overanalyzes because he's so smart and so detail oriented that sometimes that gets in his way of just playing free and being Kellen Mond. So that's the knock on him. I think that is, hey,
That makes sense though. It makes sense though.
yeah.
It really does.
So
that can screw you up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in him. I think he's going to have great success as a quarterback in this league. So, I mean, I shouldn't say great, but really good success in this league. Think he's going to be that kind of guy. Let's move on. We got Kellen Mond and Kyle Trask.
I got one more, Mike.
Okay,
I just want to throw one more name out there. It's going to be a late. He's going to be late. He might not even get drafted.
Oh, we wasn't done, but go ahead.
I thought we were just going to wrap it up.
Oh, no.
Kind of our top 5, 6. We didn't talk about Trask either.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Trask. We just threw him up there. But we're gonna name 2 more guys. But go ahead. Go ahead and name your one because I think I know where you're going because I believe he's there too.
Yeah, so he's not on many draft boards. Sam Ehlinger out of Texas, 4-year starter. I think he is one of those players that he has the intangibles that you want to talk about in a quarterback that can lead your team and every. I don't know. He just has a lot of things as a quarterback. The problem is that once again, he's not a pure quarterback.
Right.
From what I've seen, he's not. But hey, he went toe to toe with some of the best competition you'll find. Hell, you go look at the game. I think LSU versus Texas last year. He basically carried that team to almost beating LSU. If I'm not mistaken, that was the game. But he's really talented, man. I think he's going to be there probably in the 6th, 7th, maybe even undrafted. That can possibly will be one of those players that be like, how did this guy not go higher if given the opportunity? So that's one guy that I have my eye on that I like late in this draft. That's probably not a lot of people's top 10 boards, but
right.
I think he's going to be a pretty good player.
I do too, and I think he's going to be one of those guys. I like him too a lot, DJ. He's mobile. He's hard. He's playing. I like these guys that are playing for something. They have a chip on their shoulder that's really out here playing, not just to be out there to play for the money.
Being drafted late. He's going to be one of the best players.
Right. So now he's going to have that chip on his shoulder with what he already has with the loss of his father and playing for him. Very similar to Dak Prescott when he was coming out, the loss of his mom, all those things with the chip on. It's that type of thing that I can see Sam being. But I do think it's going to take him some time. I don't think he's going to come in and just be a player. It might take a year or 2 before he really, gets that opportunity, maybe even a little longer. But once he does, he can shake up some things. Then I want to throw one more name out there, and then we're done. 704, and that's that's the only thing I was saying, and I think DJ is saying too. There are a lot of quarterbacks in this class, man, that you can really, really look at, and you just got to develop them. I think they have a lot of skills that can translate to the NFL. You just have to have the right coaching staff and develop these guys, and they can come out there and really produce for you. There's another guy I'm throwing out there. I'm not a big fan of him, Jamie Newman. I'll tell you straight up.
Okay.
I think he has the size. I think he has the build. I think he has the athleticism. I didn't like him in Wake Forest. I thought he threw the same style ball. Yeah, he's not a guy that I just see reading the defense, picking the defense apart, making decisive, quick decisions. I just think I don't know. He's a guy I
He
wouldn't
has a big
draft.
arm.
He's a guy I
That's
wouldn't
what it
draft.
is. It's that big arm effect that everybody loves. That's what Jamie knew that.
Yeah, he does. He has a big arm, but I don't give a damn about a big arm if you can't get it to where you need to get it to accurately. So that's that. So let's talk about this Wentz real quick, DJ.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. And then I want to talk about. I can go into a little. Yeah, we'll just talk about Wentz. Well, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the Carson Wentz deal? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll go second. This couldn't have worked out any better for Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson Wentz goes back to the quarterback coach, or also I don't know who he was over there when he was there.
Yeah, he was quarterback coach, offensive coordinator.
So he goes back to the man that basically helped him become the player that many people. The reason why he got that big contract. He knows how to use him probably even better than Peterson. I feel like what's his name, Frank?
Frank
the
Wright.
head coach over there.
Frank Wright.
Frank Wright there. Yeah. So it couldn't be any better. I mean, he got an offensive line, he got a defense, he got a running back. he got Carson Wentz has not had this much, I think, even around him. And I'm not the biggest Carson Wentz fan. I'm saying all this stuff, but if he's going to be successful, he couldn't have got to a better team to allow him to be the player that got him the contract that he got. I mean, like I said, I like the move for Philadelphia because Philly is a big market. And if Carson stayed there and they had Hurts there, it was going to get messy there, this, that, and the third. I don't even think, and I think getting also Wentz out of there was a good idea as well because I don't think he was built to be in one of those bigger markets like a Philly, New York type of a market. Like I just don't think he has the persona. He came from North Dakota State.
Right.
Like, there's nobody out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not. He comes off as not being that type of guy. He's not very vocal. He doesn't seem very vocal himself. Like, he seems very much to himself as well. But yeah, as a trade, I think both sides, win here. Colton not gonna get a better, I guess, age-wise quarterback that still has a lot in him, potentially. And Philadelphia's ready to move on. They probably got to pay like one more year of his contract, and then they don't have that on the books no more, and they can start, building whatever they want to build there. I don't really know what they're doing, but I think it's a win on both sides at Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I do too, and the reason why I say it's a win for both sides. Let's let me give you a little background of the trade. We all know that it was a third round this year and a second round, potentially a first round for next year. And I found out what the potential is if he plays 75% of his snaps, then it can be a first round draft pick for them.
Oh damn! Wow, really?
Yeah. That was strange. That's what I read. Now, y'all check me, make sure if that's all right. But that's what I saw. It couldn't have been a perfect situation, any more perfect situation for Carson Wentz. This right here is going to rejuvenate his career. Carson Wentz is what we call the Bible pastoring. I wouldn't say pastor, like minister leader, God fearing man that is built a little different, sort of like these new age kids. And just the challenges of having the competition of a Jalen Hurts and things like that, rubbing him the wrong way. That kind of in that market, that market of having. He went to North Dakota State, so to be in the NFC East, where you're always talked about on every single kind of network sports network you can possibly have, the NFC East is always talked about. So now he's going to a division that's an AFC South that doesn't get much airplay. They're getting it now because of the Deshaun Watson situation and because of this trade. But other than that, they don't get a lot of talk. They don't get a lot of national media. So it's going to be a perfect place for him to kind of just settle in, get with this team, and ball out. He has an amazing offensive line that's going to protect him. Probably one of the best guards, if not the best guard in the league, in Quentin Nelson. One of the best I've seen. I'm not too good on watching offensive line. I try, but he's special. He got Ryan Kelly. I mean, his offensive line is stout, and he also has a defense. The defense brings it. They bring it. Look what Phillip Rivers' old butt was able to do. He only got sacked 19 times, and he can't move. He can't move. Can't move at all. But yet he's gonna be able to move around a little more. That defense is gonna be good. And even with them getting him, they have $54 million to spend still to work on that team. He's gonna have I think 2 or 3 running backs because they use quite a bit. They use a lot of those running backs. He does have that rookie from Texas. What's his name? Michael Pittman Jr., something like that. Excuse me. And I think they're gonna go get some more wide receivers for him because they got the money. And he has a coach that actually coached him at with the Eagles when he was having an MVP season. He was the reason behind this offense flourishing because it just seemed all of a sudden, as soon as he left, the Philadelphia offense went to, even though their defense was still there, they were really. So I believe he knows how to utilize Carson. He knows how to talk to him. He knows how to get the best out of him. So this was a perfect situation for him. So his prayers were answered. He prayed to God. He trusts God, and God delivered him to where he wanted him to be. And guess what? He's there. So I think this was a win-win for both because they had to get him off the books. I just wish Philly could have got more, but nobody wanted him. Obviously, they knew he was wanting out, and they were desperate to get rid of him. So, but I think they're gonna get that first round next year out of it. That's all I got on that, man. Yeah, that's it. So I do want to. We got a question here, real quick. Speaking of the cap, I'm thinking Curtis Samuel would go back home and sign with the Jets. David Barber, let me post that real quick. DJ, you there? Okay, he might be gone for a minute, man. DJ and I had this conversation. Oh, okay. DJ and I had this conversation about Curtis Samuel. The Jets have a lot of money. He's from Brooklyn. I believe, personally, that's where he's going. He gives them a weapon that's fast, that can run, do all kind of stuff, and he's being closer to home, and he's there. They have the money to pay him, and I believe that's where he goes. There's another guy by the name of Chris Godwin that I believe could potentially end up in Indianapolis with the Colts and Carson Wentz. So I'm just talking a little free agent talk. Yeah, but those are some places that I believe Curtis Samuel is going to be. We already know Panther Nation. He ain't coming back here. We don't pay him. We're not paying him. We can find his replacement. I like Curtis, but I can't do it off of just 1 year. Sorry, I can't do it off of 1 year. Not 1 year. But one more thing before we kind of get out of this, I want to give a little Panther talk. Expect Stephen Weatherly to be the next guy probably off the Carolina Panthers books. Stephen Weatherly is making, Mike Davis is a free agent, yeah. So he needs to get, I don't know, might, it depends. It depends. But Stephen Weatherly is going to be the guy that the Carolina Panthers release next because it makes too much daggone sense, and you can free up $6 million by getting rid of him. Have to. Matthew Paradis, I think he's going to stay around. We need him to stay around. Yeah, and you're right. The punter, Michael Pilardi, whatever his name is, I think he's gone too. There's no need to keep him. His dead cap. Yeah, there you go. There y'all go. There you go. Yeah, he's gone. He's going to be the next guy too. So look out for those two to free up some more money. We're going to be over $30 million. Taylor Moton, from what I'm hearing, is only $13.6 million. So yeah. We'll be good to franchise him there. DJ, you got any Tampa news you want to talk about, man? Because
Oh man, that's a whole other segment, ain't it?
Okay, we'll come back. You want to come back and do that?
I mean, there's a lot to talk about. You know, this is obviously coming off a Super Bowl win. We have a lot of free agents we have to address. And we talked about this the other day. And like you said, this is a lot that we got to look at coming back. Who could be coming in? But also out here, I was telling Mike about this, and he was kind of like, oh, shit. What if he does that? Can KK be coming to the Bucs?
Y'all hear that?
I think it's a strong possibility that you can be seeing your own Quan Short back in Carolina at least once a year. Reason why I threw this out there, I don't know what's really out there. I saw some other landing spots that people were saying. I was like, why not come to the Bucs? I mean, we did the same thing with McClain last year with the Jets. You know, McClain was still on the books with the Jets. KK's still on the books with y'all. We don't have to pay him much to really bring him in because you guys are still paying him his money there. Because y'all got about 20 million, like it's close to like 20 million, right, Mike?
Right.
So yeah, he probably come here and pay for almost nothing to be on a team that possibly once again is a Super Bowl contender. And at his age, why not? You know, at least for another year. And like I said, our money situation is very interesting as well. We have money, but we would rather get players that might have a little bit left. And he could be a rotational piece for us easily. For you know, backing up Sue, or backing up, or even going with not Sue, excuse me, Vita Vea, or either Sue or Goldie. I mean, like I said, he could easily be a rotational piece. He won't have to be a starter, which I don't know if that's been the reason why he's been getting hurt, because a lot's been put on his shoulders. But you know, if he has just a little bit of juice left, I mean, we'll take it. You know, McClendon had just enough to help us, and that's all we really need. Yeah, I think he would be a very intriguing piece to come to Tampa this year, and I would like to see it.
Interesting. Yeah, and I can kind of see him. I do believe Tampa with free agency. We talked about this, DJ, that Shaq Barrett and Chris Godwin could potentially be gone. And then and then the other pieces that they need to bring back, they can work that out. We worked it out. We did some stuff numbers wise, and they can still work this out and have quite a bit of money to pay. Yeah, that's funny, David. I heard DJ say a lot on his shoulders, and you know he got them shoulder injuries. They got quite a bit of money. They got, yeah, no pun intended, but they got quite a bit of money to still left to be able to go get some guys. There's a guy out there that DJ brought to my attention that I think Denver's going to get rid of and not re-sign him or bring him back and let him come on to Tampa, and that's Von Miller. Von Miller could be a guy that they bring in opposite JPP to help run this thing back. Von Miller has been known to be one of the biggest Brady fanatics out there. So for him to get an opportunity to come play with Thomas Everett Brady III and that defense,
that's some interesting stuff. That's got to be Buccaneers now.
Right. Now, Watson is not going to Denver. I know y'all. So I saw David talk about that. He ain't going there. That's a place he'll refuse, and I don't think they want him. They're gonna continue to go white. I tried to slide that in there.
I ain't gonna slide it in and just stop talking.
Yeah, I know.
You screwed that over.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I believe they're not going there. They're not going there. Yeah, I think Tampa's gonna be good. They're once again, guys are gonna come back. They're gonna re-sign Sue for a decent amount. Levante's gonna retire as a Buck. Um, you know, the guys that I think are gonna want the money is Shaq Barrett. He's definitely communicated that. Cameron Brate will be gone. I think that's a guy that's gonna get cut, or he's just gonna take a lot of very huge pay cut. But yeah, they're going to be fine. They're going to find the right guys and replacements to continue to have that team rolling. So I think y'all good. Yeah, but Panther Nation, I'm gonna do a video coming out on some free agent signings. I'm a Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, Dollar General Family Dollar shopper when it comes to certain players. So don't get mad at me if I don't give y'all these big names. I know DJ was talking about go get some Xavier Rhodes and this and that to help your secondary. And nah, I got some guys for you. A guy that he suggested also, and a few others I think that can help this team out. And we can bargain shop younger guys that are hungry because they don't seem to be the Matt Rule.
Whoa.
What?
Since we're talking about it, Panther Nation, how do y'all feel about Xavier Rhodes coming in and becoming your number one corner? You're not going too much into your free agency. I really want to know because I think that would be he'll solidify the number one position, which y'all do not have that on the roster. I don't care how much you want to talk up Action Jackson, who can't even stay on the field 50% of the season. And you got Oliver, behind him, and Troy Pride. That you don't even know what the hell he is. So special teams at best right now. I mean, you bring in something like that, I think that will help your secondary a lot. He brings that dog because we all know what kind of player he is and where he comes from. He definitely has that type of persona, and you probably can get him, I think, for a little less, maybe, or around $10 million. Or you are the Panthers. I want to come off the wrong way. Y'all are like a couple of years ago when y'all had to overpay for free agents if you were to bring somebody like that on. Okay, I think I like Xavier Rhodes to come to especially playing against the bigger receivers y'all got to play. Obviously, still Julio, Mike Evans is going to be here. Slant Boy, Michael Thomas. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it'll be a good little transaction like this.
Okay, so 704 said he's on the Colts. He's a free agent though, so he's not signed with the Colts yet. I do believe he's going to go back because they seem like they're going in the right direction to try to compete for a Super Bowl or at least make a run in the AFC. I don't know if Wentz is going to be the guy to do that, but he can. We've seen Wentz play ball and have great, very, very good success, almost win the MVP if he doesn't get hurt. Yeah, so I do think he stays. But that's an option. Like DJ said, if we can outbid them, we can bring them in. Me personally, I don't want them based on our salary cap. I don't think I know we need a corner, but I'd rather not go spend $10 million to go get a corner. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to get. I should have kept Bradbury then. If I'm going to spend that kind of money.
You should have. I mean, yeah, I should have kept Bradbury. I don't know why I didn't do that. Bradbury.
But
I didn't though. But
yeah. But you're right. Look. There you go. 704. We've seen a lot of corners, in my opinion, that would fit the mold to help this football team out. So that's why I don't want to reach. I think we can potentially bring Rasul Douglas back to compete, not necessarily start, but if he does, hey, he got another year in the system, so he might be a little better. But he can definitely compete. And since we already gone, I said I ain't want to do it. I'm gonna do a video on it. But there is one guy that DJ brought to my attention that if he can be healthy again, and I'm just gonna say his name, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Sidney Jones, man. Sidney Jones is a guy I like his size. I like his play. I like a lot of he's young. He has a lot left in the tank. He just needs to be coached an opportunity. He said, my brother likes the cornerback from University of Washington. There you go. Sidney Jones came from the University of Washington. Washington is the West Coast DBU. That's what Washington is. The University of Washington has some DBs that come out. They're the West Coast DBU. So they got a lot of them. Anyway, that I digress. We'll do a video on some corners because I think we can fill some holes there in this draft. So, DJ, you got anything you want to say, man, before we get up off this? We're going about 2 hours, and then we're going to, try to chop it up a little later on. Last name Taylor. Senior Bowl. Yeah. I have to check him out, y'all. I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check Taylor out. You got anything you want to say, DJ, man? Oh, he didn't got missing.
Nah, I ain't got nothing from the reigning Super Bowl representative champ. I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank y'all for hanging out with us, man. Did a little bit. I'm just, I'm a little Keith Taylor. Thank you. I'm definitely checking him out. There you go, 3-point guard already. See, that's why that's with Panther Nation. Y'all be on it. Be on it. Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, man. I know it's been a while. He said I called it. What you call? What you talking about? You said like something else happened. Oh. Anyway, man, thank y'all for tuning in. All that go. You talking about the Super Bowl. Man, whatever. That ain't Super Bowl. But yeah, thank y'all for checking it out, man. We're gonna go live probably again, talk some more stuff in this off season. We do have a mock draft that we got. We're gonna do the first round, then we'll add on to it. Things have changed though now, D.
Yeah.
Things have
We'll
changed.
have to run through it again. Yeah.
Right. We'll run through it and kind of just tweak whatever we need to tweak, but we'll go through it. Also, be on the lookout, man. I'm gonna do my first official mock draft for the Carolina Panthers 1 through 7. So be on the lookout for that. Talk about some more of these players, all that good stuff, man. But yeah, it's been a gym, man. It's been a good time. Me and DJ do this all the time, man. We sit on the phone and just talk hours, but I was like, shoot, let's just cam up and try to do a little something, man. Stream, let y'all get in on it so we can have some dialogue. But anyway, man, much love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share all this, man. All that, man. We trying to get going. I got some things working too. DJ is gonna be closing on his house soon. I got some stuff going on too. Yeah, so we both making some moves. So yeah, I believe this next year is gonna be a big year for us. Big year for the NFC South versus the NFL. But thank y'all again. Much love, man. Don't forget to hit them cash apps, all that good stuff, man. Guys, and we out.